If I hold really still, it feels like it's froze. But it's not really froze. That's what I do when I talk to my mom on the phone. Middle of a conversation, you know. No, it's, yeah, I can't hear you, and then you hang up. Dad. Spent all gold clovers on legendary boosts. Didn't have a chance at anybody worthwhile. Still have 12 hours. Actually, like 16 hours. I'm one away from a Bamyang. So I got some gift cards here. We'll do that once there's a few people running. We'll give away one, and then I'll wait a little bit and I'll give away another one. This is the first time I'm trying this. I did the gameplay last week. It was terrible. Need a good story to put your son to sleep? I don't have any stories for kids to go to sleep. I do have good stories. Let's see. Can I get a shout out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, let's see. Good story. Good story to start this off. Okay, I got one for you. And I actually have props for this one. I have to grab them. So, in the 90s, I literally don't sleep either. But I'm a lot older than 30. Okay, so in the 90s, I was in college, which says a whole lot. You know, the 90s, before the internet. We didn't have the internet. I went to design school in the United States, and they were in the process of building a new design building, one of the biggest in the country, dropping like $55 million on this big design studio. Some crazy building with 0 right angles. Everything about it was just strange. Like all the classrooms were like 5-sided. It's very weird. But anyway, they're under construction. They're getting it done. It's a massive like PR thing for the university. So this channel do not promote alcohol. No alcohol promotion here. So anyway, building, they're getting ready to finish it, and they come in on a Saturday while all the designers are still sitting there in the studios trying to finish projects. And these guys walk through and they say, you know, we need to get everything off the walls. We're trying to clean the whole building up because we've got all these photographers coming in. They're going to take all these pictures, and we're making a book to give back to all of the people who have donated money for the building. So we refuse to do it. We're students. We don't care. And they finally come back in, and you know, and they yell at us again to tear everything down. So about this time, I was working at a movie theater because I love movies, and it just seemed like an easy thing to do. So I was working at the theater. I was the guy who well, back then I used to paint the windows, big movie posters on the windows and stuff. And you know the big cardboard displays that they show in when you walk into the movie theater, they have the big cardboard stand-ups to promote the movies. Well, when you work there, sometimes if you could talk the managers into, they would let you keep them. And there was a movie that came out with Ellen DeGeneres, and it was called Mr. Wrong, mid-90s, with Bill Pullman, where Bill Pullman is schizophrenic. He has like multiple personalities. And the poster was this horrible poster of Ellen DeGeneres getting dipped by Bill Pullman. She's like all upset. And we had that stand up, and it was 20 feet long by 10 feet high. And I decided to throw it all in my station wagon one night and bring it to the studio. So we had this massive stand up that was featured this giant cardboard Ellen DeGeneres head that was about the size of a pool table. And we had it in the studio. And a bunch of the designers got together and we said, okay, let's, when they get ready to start taking the photography for this book, we're going to run over and shove Ellen's head into the window and try to get her into the book. So, and this was the 90s. Ellen wasn't what she is now. Definitely not what she is now. But people still talked about her. Who keeps saying shout out? Naveen Shetty. There's your shout out. All right, so we put it into the window as they come by to take photos, and then they came in, they yelled at us, we pulled it down. So hold on. It's called Mr. Wrong, was the name of the movie. Terrible movie. Okay. So that's what the poster looks like. But this Ellen head was like 8 to 10 feet high, and we just happened to have it. So for about a week, we had it hidden in the corner because we didn't know what to do with it. But this day, I think we may have had a refrigerator full of Jell-O shots. And we're probably pretty lit up in the studio. And every time we would see the photographer walk by, we'd grab it and stick it up in the window. Just grab it and stick it up in the window. And they'd take pictures and then we'd pull it down. This would go on and on for 20 minutes. And then they'd walk by and then they'd come over and we'd stick it back up in the window again. So this went on for, I don't know, maybe an hour. And then finally somebody came in and they were yelling at us to get rid of the poster, and they ended up taking it from us and throwing it in the dumpster. So we don't think anything of it. So about a year later, I'm in a bookstore and I see this book on the shelf called 11 Authors in Search of a Building. And it's all about this. Who is it that just keeps saying? So, I see this book on the shelf, and I start flipping through it. And of course, there's a giant Ellen head in there. Finally, they edited that entire book, but we were able to get her head into it. So, hold on. All right, so there's Ellen's head. There's the book. This is in like the mid-90s. See if I can find a picture of it. There she is. You see that? That's Ellen DeGeneres' head. Terrible story. But it's Ellen. Maybe I helped make her famous. You hear that, Ellen? If you got any of that Cheerio money or what is it? Shutterfly, and you want to help me put my kid through college, That'd be cool. All right. Okay. So let's get this whole giveaway thing going, since that's what everybody's here for anyway. What we're going to do, go ahead and type in the chat, anybody who wants to be involved in it, type in enter me as one word, ENTERME. Just put that into the chat. Only do it once. Don't just do a ton of things. Just do it once into the thing. One word, enter me, no space. There you go. You got it. And here in about 5 minutes, we'll do a drawing and see who gets it. And we got 2 of them to give away. I think they're worth about 1,500. Or no, wait. Yeah, 1,500 FIFA points. I'm not going to use them. Okay, I need one more gold treble and have a 40% chance I might not get a Bang Yang. Now, I will interject with little FIFA Mobile stuff. The 3-time 2,500 gem packs that they offered, those things are awesome. They're actually worth it. Remember, it's enter me, ENTERME. One word, enter me. That's what we're going to do for the first one. All right. Let's see. Somebody was talking about how this isn't to promote alcohol, but I drink a lot of alcohol. It's kind of like my thing. A lot of beer. So let's tell a beer story. That's a good one. I get asked a lot, like if I, do you get drunk all the time? No, I don't. I mean, I just drink a decent amount of beer. Suggest a good beer. Guinness. That's my favorite. Okay, so the last time I actually really got pretty blitzed was the night my nephew was born. We were at the hospital for, I don't know, 10 hours, 6 hours, whatever it was, enough to get for my sister to have the baby. And then it was around 11 o'clock and decided to come back to my house with some family members to celebrate the first nephew that I had. And we had a campfire. And somebody brought out what is known as rum slush, which is grain alcohol, a lot of rum, lemonade, limeade, and they put it all together and you boil it. You add a shit ton of sugar and then you freeze it, but it won't quite freeze. So it's just like this slushy material. And if you drink beer, then shift over to that. It's never, ever a good situation. So we're sitting around, we're drinking the rum slush, and I think someone had some cigars, and the next thing you know, I was a little bit tipping over the edge, and the cigars turned into s'mores, and someone had the great idea to put Reese cups in the s'mores, and I don't think I'd ate for about 6 hours, and it started to get bad, and I knew at that point that I was gone, and we ran out of wood. So I knew the neighbors had a tree in their front yard that was kind of on, it didn't look good, didn't have any leaves on it. So I decided I could probably get some wood from the neighbor's house. So I proceeded to climb over the fence and go into the neighbor's yard and break a big ass branch that's like 10 feet long out of that tree and drag it through my house, out to the backyard, and try to put it in a fire pit. Now, this thing was bigger than a couch, and for some reason I thought that was a good idea. And I think about 20 minutes into it, at that point I was done, and I ended up sleeping in the backyard. Not a good situation. That wasn't beer though. That wasn't beer. That was rum slush. So who is this? Is there a way to ban somebody? There you go. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's do the first giveaway here. Let's see if it's working. All right, it's going to choose here in the next couple of minutes. So if you haven't already put it in, type enter me, one word, into it, and we'll give away the first one. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, at Finally He Sleeps. That way I can give you the information in DM. So what giveaway is doing? 2. Mick. Patron. I don't do whiskey at all. I don't do any kind of scotch or whiskey. I had a very, very, very bad experience when my wife was 8 months pregnant with my son that we don't talk about. It was really bad, and it started out with Maker's Mark and ended with ended up with Jack Daniel's Black Label, Jack and Coke. And after that night, I could not drink any kind of soda, like Pepsi, Coke, or anything, for years. And to this day, the smell of any whiskey is enough to just send me into convulsions. Can't get near it. Maker's Mark, Crown, none of it. Just the thought of it. Can't do it. What happened that night? It was a very long day, and started out drinking beer, and about 4 hours later someone showed up with a bottle of Maker's Mark and then a bottle of Jack, and it was a very long time span. And it was at a friend of mine's house, a party. This was, well, it was 17 years ago, because it was when my son was almost born. And I ended up in my friend's parents' master bathroom, and I remember walking into the bathroom and I had to climb over some people, but I think it was more or less I just couldn't walk in a straight line at that point. So I had to climb through some people. I got to the bathroom. Now this is my friend's parents' master bath. This is a very nice bathroom. And they had tile floor. And you know that you're in a bad state when you walk into a bathroom and you see the tile floor and immediately your brain goes, that tile looks really cool and cold and I need to be on it. And then the clothes started coming off because that tile floor sounded like a really good idea to cool my body down. So next thing you know, I think the only thing I had left on at that point was boxers, and I'm laying on the floor as close as I possibly can. And I looked at the toilet and I thought, that toilet seat looks really, really cool. And I would lay my head on the toilet and close my eyes and open them up, close my eyes, open them up, and I'd been in there about 10 minutes and I hear someone banging on the door, and it's my friend, it's his house, and well, it's his parents' house, and he's yelling, dude, are you in there? Are you in there? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you doing? Well, I didn't want to tell him I'm naked on your mom and dad's bathroom floor with my head on the toilet. So I lied and said, I'm taking a shit. He's like, dude, open the door. It's like, I can't. I'm taking a shit. And so I hear him messing with the door. And they finally shove something into the door to unlock it. And the door opens up. And there's a couple of people there, my buddy, another friend of mine, and my wife. And they're looking at me and they're like, you're not taking a shit. What are you doing? And I said, I am taking a shit. And then at that moment, I started to get sick and started to throw up. Well, that 5 minutes that I was in the bathroom was actually about 4 hours. Every time I laid my head down on that toilet seat, I was passing out and didn't realize it. So at that point, I think I went into the bathroom around 8 o'clock, and it was like 1 in the morning. And I threw up about a dozen times into the toilet. And he finally says, look, I got to get you out of here. Get you to your car. So I've started to put clothes back on. I think I had pants on, and I had a sweatshirt in my hands. And he carries me out to the car, like helps me out there. And my wife's with me, and she's 8 months pregnant. And he's like, just get him home. Get him home. So at that point, I think I've thrown up in the bathroom. I think I threw up in the kitchen. I threw up in the yard, at least. And I get to the car. I get in the car. And he says, he's like, just take him straight home. So she's driving. And I feel it coming on, so I've got the sweatshirt in my hand. So I just start into the sweatshirt. And she's yelling at me, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm smelling my sweatshirt. She's like, well, it smells like puke. Stop. And I think we're about 15 minutes from home, and she pulled over twice so I could get out of the car and throw up in random people's front yards. And we got home, and we have our main bathroom, which is on the way to my bedroom, where I have a master bath. And I got sick in the first bathroom, and she pulled me out of there and said, come on, you're going to bed. And she pulled me back to the other bedroom. Now, this is 17 years ago, so we had a full wave waterbed, which anyone who has ever been on one of those things, it is goddamn terrible. It's like sleeping on an inflatable mattress in the middle of a pool in the middle of a storm. And when you are sick, you want nothing to do with a full wave waterbed. It's like living in a 70s porno. It is horrible. So I see the waterbed. I'm like, there ain't no goddamn way I'm getting in that. So I went straight to the bathroom and started stripping and laying down on another tile floor. And yeah, it was not good. I slept on that floor for another 10 to 12 hours. And I got up the next day, and it is about 11 o'clock, and my wife knocks on the door. She says, "Are you okay?" Well, I don't want to be the guy who's drunk the next day, and she's already pretty pissed. And as I said, "No, I'm fine. I'm good. Good to go." She says, "Good, because my parents just called and they want to go out to dinner." So that's when you suck it up and you pretend that you are completely sober and you go out to dinner with the in-laws. It is horrible. Horrible, horrible. But what was worse is as I got up and I looked in the mirror, my eyes were both red. Just not like bloodshot. It looked as if I was bleeding from the eyes because of all of the vomiting. I blew all the blood vessels in both eyes. They all burst. And I didn't know that was even possible until the ER nurse explained it to me, because I also had alcohol poisoning because I'm not a very smart person. And from that day forward, I can only drink yellow, like Mountain Dew, or clear, like Sprite, soda. Because Pepsi and Coke remind me of that experience 17 years ago. So, don't drink, kids. All right. Let's do the first giveaway. Okay, it's rolling. And the first one goes to Jose Vivar. Did I pronounce that correctly? That's the first one. All right, so if that is you, make sure you text in here. Yay, all right. Make sure you send me a DM on, either send me a message on Instagram or Twitter, and let me know when you do it so I can see it, and we'll be good to go. And I'll get you the code for that. We'll do it after this is over. All right, I still got one more. It's another $15 one. We'll give it a little bit longer, another 15 minutes or so, and we'll do another one. All right, so let's see. Still have. Okay, I haven't even been looking at this because I get into story mode. So, anybody got any questions? What was the question? Bro, can you answer my question on top? What was the question? Okay, what beer is this? Guinness. Who am I looking to get for Icon tomorrow? Whoever I can sell for the most money. Because I'm not putting them in my pool. They do not go in my field. Okay, what's the upcoming event going to be? Okay, last year at this time, we had a break after CARNIBALL, and EA ran the return of the MLS, where there were some Major League Soccer players, but it was kind of crappy unless you're putting together a US-based team. But they missed that. So I think this whole new FIFA, the dev team, kind of got everything all backed up, which is why CARNIBALL was late and everything. So I think the new next event's going to be Easter. I think we're going to have a couple-week break as soon as St. Patrick's Day is done, and then they're going to start Easter. The last couple of years, they've started that. I think it usually comes out like the Friday before Easter Sunday, and then runs through the next week. Do a guitar giveaway? Yeah, no. Let's see. So I haven't posted a video in a while. I actually lost my phone. It took a crap, so I had to get a new phone, which made playing FIFA Mobile pretty difficult. What am I doing with high-rated bench players? So, right now, nothing. I have about 600 players between 80 and 89, with a few 90 to 93. I'm still holding them because I still feel like SBCs are coming, and I'm waiting for the market to flip. Once it flips, I think we're gonna be able to sell that stuff for 300 to 500,000 a piece. Now, some of them have already been going for a decent amount. When they first released the Icons tournament this month, anybody with Team of the Year nominees was able to get a ton for them that first weekend. So you have to pay attention, you have to watch and see where the money is coming in so you can unload some of them. But like Lunar New Year, those cards are still, don't sell any of them. There is 0 point to selling them. Okay, gameplay video. I can tell you I live streamed some gameplay last week, and it was hard because I have a really hard time not paying attention and reading what people are saying. So I was trying to play Icons and read at the same time, and it was really, really bad. I think I won 7 out of the 12 games and had to shut it down so I could play it again without it. Let's see. What was another question? Is Mick still on here? Because I saw you a little bit ago, but I think I need to play you in League Championship, and I haven't done it yet. Let's see. Duffy is good or Hazard? I use Duffy. I bought him. I'm still holding out for Aubameyang, but I bought Duffy because I needed a decent, fast center back that I could score off of corners. Now, Team of the Year Virgil van Dijk is a beast on corners. So I wanted to grab another one, and I like him a lot. Easy to make money, but hard to keep him. Just so you guys know, coins in this game, they're easy to come by. I think that's going to be... I'm going to put a video together here soon that talks about all the ways you can make coins in the game that people don't pay attention to. Like, for example, I had a league mate the other day that was... He was asking questions about Team of the Week because there were a lot of us in our league's WhatsApp. We're talking about grabbing the 94 Messi. And he's like, how do you guys have so many Team of the Week points? And it was just something that I assumed everybody knew, but apparently they don't. So I'm going to put a video together here in the next week that's just like 10 to 20 things that, just like tips that I assume everybody knows, but that you probably, there's people out there that are like, oh my God, I had no idea. And if that can help a few people, then good. Just like Team of the Week, scouting, just how to use your points, when to get rid of them. I get a lot of people that always ask me, how do you have all your boosts at like plus 13 to plus 15 if you know you're free to play? There's ways to do that. Real chasing Sadio Mane. My thoughts are not good because it. Nah, I don't like that. I don't think he'll leave, though. He won't leave Liverpool. Mbappe or Piatek. I don't use either of those players, so I have no idea. Do I have any new coin making methods? Okay, so now let me address that real quick. Every time I throw one of these market videos out that's about how to snipe, what happens is when I make the video, I can make a shit ton of coins for a couple of days, and I'll put the video together, and I may make 5-6 million in a couple hours worth of work. I'll put the video together, and it'll post, and then immediately that portion of the market gets bombarded, and the video loses steam like that, because once people start picking it up, and I would assume that, you know, if video's got 10,000 hits, there's no way that's going to affect the market, but it does quickly. So I don't know if I'm going to throw any more of those videos together. What I've been doing lately is I've been putting together all my sniping filters and putting them on finallysleeps.com for the members there, which seems to be working out because I'm still able to make coins on the stuff that they're using, and I'm getting good feedback from it. So I probably will continue to do that for a while until the market shifts. So, but just so you know, the old sniping videos still work. It's time consuming, and you may have to adjust what you're bidding and what you're spending to make coins, but it's there. You can easily do it. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're still doing the Enter Me, ENTERME. This is for the second gift card. In about 10-15 minutes, we'll go ahead and do the second one. So make sure you've typed that into the chat. Enter Me, one word. So you guys have a chance to do it. Okay. Let's see, what's the question? Were all those guys I fought to bid using Silver Method bots? Okay, so that's a question. There are bots that bid. They generally don't bid at the end. The video that I ran, the market bot video, where I showed how you can force the bot to buy stuff, just to disprove some of the bot theories out there, which I hated that video, but that changed the way a lot of us thought about the market, and you can actually see in the video that the bot does bid. You can get the bot to bid, but the bot doesn't just buy now. But the bidding battles that a lot of people are having right at the end, I think those are people. Those have to be other users. The bot is what posts all of the players and buys them back from you, the buy nows. But the bidding wars, a lot of those are people. So, which is another reason when you get into the bidding wars with the people there at the end, if you're in a fight with people for something, it's kind of time consuming, and unless it's somebody that you're wanting to use, don't mess with it. Great creator, keep making good stuff. Thank you. Why does head-to-head have too much lagging? I don't like head-to-head. It just pisses me off. It puts me in such a terrible mood, and I'm still frustrated over the handicapping that goes on in it, because statistics don't come into play, and it's just a horrible when a player with 119 pace can get outrun by a player with 70 pace, that's handicapping, and that just puts me in a bad mood. So I don't even play it. Everyone's question right now: Champions League, Donnarumma, or St. Patrick's Butland? I use Team of the Year De Gea. But everybody's talking about the 6 foot, what is he? 6'9", holy shit. Was he at Atletico? I think people in the league were talking about it today, and said that he saves everything. I haven't seen him. I haven't played with him. I don't know. But the Donnarumma, there's a couple of those cards. There's one that's good and one that's really, really bad. You've got to get the high-level Team of the Week. Let's see. Long game method, because prices increased for players a bit. I stopped. I put 600 players in my reserves and kind of quit. I think I put 400 elites, and then I went to nation players and started grabbing nation players just in case they do that. Because last year at this time, when they first added the SBCs in, you could get an assload of money out of Nigerian players, Dutch players. So I went through and picked all of the nations for the icons, and like Spain, England, and bought cards that were 77 to 79 rated from those nations. Let's see. I think it's the 82. Donnarumma is the Team of the Week that's good. But what you can do is you can go into FIFA renders and put the 2 cards in and bump them up to like 100 and see their stats and see where it is that works out best. Jose, you can join the second one. I don't care. It's random. It's going to pick somebody. Make sure you guys have entered. Just do it once. If you do it like 4 or 5 times, it blocks you out for spam, just so you know. Team of the season will be, let's see. I actually have an anticipated date for that. Let's see. Where's that? Okay. Team of the season, probably the mid-May, beginning of May, mid-May. That's when it was last year, so about the same time, I'm hoping. Now, like, icons, talking about Lampard, should I sell? It's kind of iffy because the icons, if you've paid attention to what they've been doing, they go up and down, they fluctuate. They're very roller coastery. Cards that you think are going to go up, they spike and then they drop. They spike and they drop, and it's usually around a 500,000 coin span. That first weekend, with if you can grab the player quickly, like right out of the gate, you can make a ton of money on them. But then they start to go away really fast. Like this Johan Cruyff that's going to be out this weekend. If you can grab that in the very beginning, if you have enough coins to hold it, you should be able to get an absolute ton of coins for him, but it'll start to slow down before the end. Now, SBC, people keep asking, is it coming? Is it coming? I think it's coming. And there for a while, you kept seeing online where people are like, no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And then this new FIFA Dev Twitter account changed it, and they started talking about how it's when they're going to release it, that they want it done right, and blah, blah, blah. So I think it's coming. What's SBC? It's squad building challenges. It's from console. They added it last year. What you do is, it's like they have a squad that you put together based on whatever criteria for that squad. Sometimes it's like you have to have a minimum OVR. You have to have a minimum OVR. They have to be like this many nations or whatever, this many leagues. And then you trade all of those players in. They they burn them, and then you get something in exchange. Last year, a lot of them, there were maps to get the icons. And that's what they did. Top 3 active players in the game or in real life? Yeah, 100 elites. Yeah, it better come. Just so the market will bounce back, and if we get a big lag in time between the end of St. Patrick's Day and the beginning of Easter, or Easter to team of the season, the market's going to start to come back, and we may be able to get rid of them in that point. Okay, favorite in real life. I'm a Liverpool guy through and through, and I love Mane, and I absolutely love Mohamed Salah. Always have. I've got favorites on the team. I like Becker. He's a fantastic keeper. I love Klein. Nathaniel Klein has always been one of my favorite defenders. Not seeing him play, and after he got hurt, it was tough. I love Bobby Firmino. Come on. I mean, honestly, there's very few players on that team that I don't like. Lovren pisses me off. God, he just pisses me off. There's players that aren't there anymore that I really liked. I was a huge Coutinho fan. I loved Coutinho. I've always had a soft spot for Henderson. I never thought he was as good as everybody said, but I liked him because the coach in me came out, and he's one hell of a strong captain. What he lacked in skill on the field, he made up for as a captain, which I always like that. Let's see. Shaqiri. I like Shaqiri a lot. He is tiny, he is mean, and he is fast. I do want to see him get more playing time. I think he can fight his way into the field. Fernando Torres, El Nino. I loved when Torres was on the team. But if I had to pick my all-time favorite current Liverpool player, it's Daniel Sturridge. I've always loved Sturridge. When it was the year they were fighting, was it 4 or 5 years ago, and you had Sturridge and Suarez up top, that attack was phenomenal. And I think if Sturridge wasn't constantly plagued with injuries, that was my attack. I loved that. Now, I do think the top 3 up that we have right now are great, but I miss Sturridge and Suarez together. Who's the best, Messi or Ronaldo? Okay, now I coach U7 to U19, like in that range. And that's a constant question that the kids ask. And my personal favorite between the two is it's Messi. And it's only because I think if I had to choose, if they were the same price and I was buying a player for my team, I think I would rather have a center attacking mid in Messi that could build the plays and bring the entire team up to his level, rather than Ronaldo, who I feel the rest of the team pushes him forward. It's a difference. I mean, Ronaldo's an attacker. Messi's a midfielder. That's just the way it is. But the coach in me would rather have Messi than Ronaldo, even though Ronaldo is probably the hardest working player in the world. No one can take away from his drive and strength and skill. But Messi. Neymar, I'm not a Neymar fan. I don't know why. I just don't. I'm not. Never have been. It's just something about him. And I don't even know what it is. He just kind of annoys me. Thanks. Free to play. That's kind of, you know, because I'm not going to spend any money on this game. Ronaldo is a dink. That's the reason enough to pick Messi. You got to give Ronaldo credit. Yes, he is very consistent, and he is hardworking. No one doubts that. But Messi is natural talent. That's the difference. Messi has what he has naturally. That is the perfect way to put it. Ronaldo has worked to get where he's at. So you have to give him credit for that. But I would still rather have Messi. Mbappe fan. I acknowledge his skill. But I'm not a big fan. But he is. Can I spell the 6'9" goalkeeper? It's Holy. H-O-L-Y. Mbappe or Rashford? I don't like Rashford. I'm a Liverpool guy. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to like a Manchester United player. I mean, there are some that I do like. I like Pogba. Can't stand Ander Herrera. I like De Gea. I use him in my squad. But there are so many that I just don't like. But I like a lot of players. It takes a lot. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the other giveaway in about 30 seconds. So if you haven't done Enter Me yet, make sure you do it. Enter Me. Okay, about 15 seconds. All right, 5, 4, here we go. And I have no idea how to say this. Laurent. There it is, Laurent. Sal, I have no idea. But if that's you, make sure you follow me on Twitter or Instagram and send me a message and make sure, you know, that we know who you are, and I'll send it your way. Nice. All right, that's the 2 I had to give away for tonight. Let's see, do I have any other stories? Anybody got any questions? FIFA Mobile Rockers. What's your channel? How to get better versus Griezmann or Mbappe? I like Griezmann. They've already released who the icons are going to be for this weekend. It was on Twitter, on the Dev Mobile's site. They listed the 5 for the weekend. Cruyff's going to be the big one. Yeah, I'm in Instagram too. Finally he sleeps. Yeah, I'm everywhere. Finally he sleeps. No more giveaways tonight. That was it. Just the 2. But if you guys had fun, I'll do another one. And this was good. It wasn't bad. I'll have better stories next time. Let's see. Do I have any more good stories? Next event after St. Patrick's Day should be Easter. That's the thought. Should be Easter. Let's see. Is De Gea the best goalie? The 96 De Gea is the best goalie. But there's a lot of people that are using that Donnarumma and the team of the week. And we were all talking earlier about Holly. Let's see. Foot birthday. People have been asking about that. We're on an anniversary for EA, so what are they doing? I'm not sure. And League Heroes, yes, because there is a Robertson left back in League Heroes that I want. I want very badly. Young Finn dating stories? Oh my god, you do not want those. I have some though. I have some. I don't think I've ever done any dating stories in stand-up before. Mostly talk about my grandma. I have a lot of grandma stories. And if you guys haven't seen the last thank you video, when I hit 2,500 or 3,000 subscribers, whatever it was, I had a story in there from stand-up about shitting myself in a rest area. Let's see. Let's be friends. The goalie. Let's see. That's the goalie. The 6'9" goalie. Who are coming new icons? If you get on Twitter and take a look at that new Dev FIFA Twitter account, I can't remember the name of it. They posted it. They posted who the icons are going to be this weekend. Let's see. I should be able to look this up. Let's see. I'm looking up the goalie. Cool. That's why you're having trouble searching. His name is actually it's got some strange characters in it. That's why. He's a Czech goalie. League One. So I think if you do a search for the goalie, HOL, and you put in that his nation is Czech, you should be able to find him. Did I get Aubameyang? Not yet. I am right there. So close. I've got, let's see, 17 of the 18 that I need. And we have, in 4 hours, the last 12 hours pops up. So at that time, I think I'll get another 16 Lucky Leafs, which is 4 more spins. So I should be able to get it. It shouldn't be a problem. I'll be right there. And if not, I'll just have to use gems to get one last one. Okay. See the cup? That's Mr. Kool-Aid. In the United States, in the 70s and 80s, Mr. Kool-Aid used to break through walls in TV commercials. And when you got Kool-Aid packs, they had little points on them, and you could send them in and you'd get cups, these little Kool-Aid cups. I've had this cup since I was like 8 years old. And right now it's filled with Bailey's Irish Cream, which is the perfect chaser to Guinness. So, before I get off here, I have a really good Kool-Aid cup story. It's a true story. I was trying to remember. I think it was right before I was about to get married. And a bunch of us decided to go to a couple of strip clubs. It's a good story. See, and I think we were early 20s, and hit a couple of strip clubs, and they were terrible. It's a U.S. thing. If you're not in the United States, do they have strip clubs in other countries? I don't know. I mean, where I've traveled abroad, they don't have strip clubs. They have a lot of prostitutes, but no strip clubs. But anyway, we hit this strip club, the first one, and it's so expensive. And the guys are like, "This is pointless. Let's go back to your house, and we'll get a stripper. We'll get someone to come to the house." This is a long time ago. So we decided to head back. We went to my apartment and got in the phone book, because this is how long ago it was. Again, I'm old. It's like, do you see the gray hair? There's a lot of gray hair in there. When I was in college, we didn't have the internet. So we got into a phone book and we looked up exotic dancers. And they said, "Yeah, we'll send one out to your apartment. It's that easy." So anyway, this girl shows up and she's got a bouncer with her, which is the biggest black man I've ever seen in my entire life. And he curled into a ball and came into my apartment. And he just kind of stood there, and the girl brought in a big radio and sat it down. And she started to dance, and there's 10 guys in this room that are age 18 to like 22. And all of the guys were completely shy, had no idea what to do. And she just kept dancing. And she finally said, she came over and she whispered, "Can you go get me a glass of water?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can go get you a glass of water." I thought she was thirsty. So I went to the kitchen and grabbed this Kool-Aid cup and filled it with ice water, because I thought she was thirsty. And I brought it back out, and she was dancing, and I handed her the cup, and he's now my brother-in-law, but he was laying down on the ground, and she was dancing over top of him, and she proceeded to, instead of drinking the ice water, she poured the ice water out onto herself, and didn't realize it was ice water, and it was like an ice bath, and she fell and landed right on my brother-in-law. She was naked. It was not a good experience. Greatest defensive midfield ever, and then gave him an 85. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. All right. Should I do pack open for 3 golden clover to get a baby egg? If you're 3 behind, you're going to have to open up quite a few packs to get 3 golden clovers. If you're just 1 behind, it's doable. But if it's a lot, it's going to be tough. And with those packs, they have to get the 1 pack that gives you all of the clover points, you have to sell, or you have to buy 1 of each of the others. So I think you have 17,500 points, gems in, before you can even open the one that gives you golden clovers. But the 2,500 gem packs in the store, the 3 times, each of those give you enough rainbow points and the clover leaves, the lucky leaves, to be able to open enough that each 2,500 gem pack should be able to give you 1. So if you're 3 behind, you should be able to get a babying for 10,000 gems. Make videos for best players in your position. Be so helpful. See, that's just the thing. I don't spend a lot of time testing players. I have my squad, and that's about all I do, is just mine. And I don't necessarily grab the best players. I use the players that I like. I play FIFA. It's from the heart, people. I play from the heart. You know, the heart. It's not the brain. Which is why I still have Alexander-Arnold at right back. I still use that base elite Jordan Henderson. I don't use the icons. I keep my Liverpool players in there. So as far as what's the best players in the game, I honestly can't tell you because I don't test. I'm not one of those YouTubers that grabs a ton of players just to test them out and see what they're doing. Should I upgrade the holy goalkeeper to 90 overall? Depends on which one you grabbed, because I believe we were talking earlier there are two of them. There's one that's a there's one of those that's a silver, and then there's an actual gold or elite. There's a higher level one, but he's really hard to get, and he's expensive. But the silver one's pretty decent. But I don't know for sure how good he is if you train him all the way up. Who's my goalkeeper? Team of the Year, De Gea. The 95, but I've upgraded him to 96. As soon as I grab Aubameyang, I'll be able to take him to 97. Do I like Martial? Yeah, he's a strong player. I wouldn't use him, but he's a strong player. Will Liverpool win the Premier League? I really, really want them to win the Premier League, but it's a very, very tough road to climb. I don't know if it's going to happen. I honestly think Liverpool have a better shot at winning Champions League than Premier League. The only way to get extra spins for the last 4 hours of Aubameyang is through gem bags. All right. I think that's it. I'm about to go into a coughing fit. All right. That's it. Because I think I just lost my voice. Barcelona or City? I seriously did. The whole voice just went. Alright. That's it. Can't believe I just lost it. Voice is gone. Alright. Next time, I will do it earlier in the day, because there were a lot of people that didn't get the chance to see this one. So, once I get over the cold and I get my voice back, because seriously, I just lost it, we'll be good to go. Alright, thanks for checking it out, guys. Glad you had some fun. And, pay attention, new videos will be coming. I'll throw a tip one together. And thanks a lot. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making them. See you guys.